I don't want to waste any time. Can we get into it? What is the issue?
Whilst it's underneath it, I know it's one big thing.
And it looks like my 992 RS that should be for delivery next month in December. It hasn't moved. Have a quick catch up with David, have a cappuccino and find out, am I going to get it and where this car is? I need a set of 996 turbo twists for my 996 turbo. So I understand there are some wheels here. Hopefully I can find a set and maybe do a deal. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on Raj's Garage. We are back with my God's Red 964 C2 manual. Now, in the previous episode, Aman from the workshop managed to get the car running a lot better, fix some of the gremlins and fix some of the issues that I had. Now the car is running exceptionally well. However, there are still a few issues that we cannot fix. So today we are going over to Northway Porsche. I'm gonna have a chat with Paul and I'll explain to him some of the niggles that still remain on this car that need to be fixed so I can start enjoying it and using it. So guys, sit back and hopefully you'll enjoy this episode. We are here at Northway Porsche. But that first gear, pulling away that clutch is horrible. In fact, I stalled it just coming in into Northway Porsche. So let me grab Paul and we'll have a walk around the car and do a handover. Sure you are all familiar with Paul. He's been on the channel quite a few times. Northway Porsche is my go-to place when it comes to servicing and maintenance work on all my Porsches, except the new ones which have a warranty for obvious reasons.
Understandable.
Now, it's the first time you've seen this car.
It is.
We've done a few bits ourselves, which I've got a list here.
Right.
But the most important thing for me is for you to really go around the car, do a prod, as you did with the 996 Turbo.
Yep.
And just ensure that it's safe to drive. And if there's anything that's really of a concern that needs to be addressed now,
yep,
let's get that done.
Cool. Okay.
The rear spoiler, now that wasn't operational at all.
Right.
I've got a motor.
Yep.
Fitted it.
Yep.
But it's noisy.
Right. It's not normally the motor that's noisy, it's the transmission.
Okay.
So the transmissions themselves are quite expensive for what they are, but what we can do is actually cut open the plastic transmission and replace the bearings inside. So
nice.
it's a cheaper option.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, brilliant.
I'm happy
yep,
with the cheaper option. Clutch biting point on this is horrible. I've managed to purchase some
right.
It's on or off. There's no in between.
Yeah.
So pulling off in first gear, I would say 25% of the time I'm stalling the car.
Right.
We've got some sort of noise from the rear suspension area.
Yep.
We've tried to investigate, can't work out what it is. So if you can have a look at that. Can you do a compression test?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get a compression test done.
Yeah.
It's only 90,000 miles. Let me know if it needs a rebuild or if it's good for another 20 or 30,000 miles, because that will give me an indication of what I do next.
Okay.
If it needs a rebuild, then we'll address that. If it doesn't, then I might do some other engine mods, you know, maybe add some ITBs or something like that, just to get a little bit more power out of it.
Yeah, okay. Well, we do cylinder leakage test and we do a compression test as well, just so that then we can give you some feedback as to what, you know, what's what, and if you've got any problems on that side of things.
It's in safe hands. I'll be back at some point to pick up the car, then we'll grab Paul and we'll do a walk around. Maybe if it's on the ramp.
Yeah, we can show you the bits and pieces, whatever we find.
Awesome.
We go through it, go from there.
All right, nice one.
Great
See you
stuff.
soon.
Cheers, bye-bye.
So that's my old Porsche getting dealt with. Time to tackle my new addition. In a previous episode, I was thrilled to secure an allocation for the new 992 GT3 RS and spec'd it to my liking, anticipating its arrival in December. Today, I'm here at Porsche Reading to check on the progress. My favourite showroom in the UK, for obvious reasons. I'm here with my favourite salesman, David. Don't leave me hanging. I went on the app a couple of days ago and it looks like my 992 RS that should be for delivery next month in December. It hasn't moved. Well, I can't see anything. So I thought, you know what, let's just quickly hop over to Reading, have a quick catch up with David, have a lovely cup of cappuccino and find out, am I going to get it and where this car is?
Well, it's due to finish at the factory on the 19th of December. You know as well as I do, that ain't going to be here for December. I wouldn't have thought.
Oh, okay.
It may.
But I doubt it. If it's finishing on the 19th, to try and get it here before Christmas
Get
it through all
bank
your
holidays, all that sort of thing. So currently it's looking as though it may not, as you can see on here. But, 19th of the 12th is the CP8 day.
Right. That is not what I wanted to hear. Okay, I guess that's the end of that conversation.
It's not going to be a Christmas present.
It's not my Christmas present. So do you think it'll be more than likely January then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If I can get it here for Christmas, I will. But
well, if it's here before or post Christmas, I'll come and have a look at it at least.
yeah,
So.
yeah, because the RS products are coming through on a separate transport system to the normal cars. So,
Right.
And how that's going to be affected during Christmas, I'm not sure. So
Yeah, with the seasonal break and obviously closures and so on, bank holiday, as you said. So
Yeah.
it might just pan into January. Bit of a shame. I was looking for some good news.
well, it is good news. It's coming.
The good news is that Father Christmas will be delivering my RS before Christmas or on Christmas Day. I guess that's not happening.
No, nobody takes delivery on Christmas Day.
I'm sure you can make an exception. Anyway, okay, well, I guess I'll enjoy my coffee and you can enjoy your green tea.
And the new Panamera launch.
Oh yes, I've just been shown some pictures of the new Panamera launch. I never knew the Panamera was still a thing. I thought it was actually discontinued, but far from it. From what David says, it's one of the hottest selling cars that Porsche have ever had.
Worldwide.
But yeah, okay, well, I'll enjoy my cappuccino and I'll be out of your
Don't
way.
look too sad.
At least I'm still getting my RS.
Absolutely.
For a moment I thought, well, I can't see it on the app. Has something happened? Has my allocation dropped off? Obviously not. So guys, I am in my speed yellow 997 GT3, heading back to Northway Porsche to pick up my red 964. Gonna leave the 997 GT3 with Northway because it's due a service. We'll cover this car in a separate episode on the channel because this car deserves it. This is a very special car that I've owned for quite a few years and I've thoroughly enjoyed the time I've had with this car. But yeah, we'll talk about that in another episode. Now, my Guards Red 964 C2. So I got a call from Paul the other day and I'm a little bit concerned because he goes to me, there's an issue with your 964 and the issue relates to the engine. And he said it's a little bit weird. Now that car's been plagued with problems since I purchased it. It's not like I bought a trailer queen. I didn't buy a lemon neither. The dealer I bought the car from, Ian Harris of Harris Classics, was open and honest, very transparent and said, look, I'm doing you this deal because this car has some issues that need addressing. Let's get over to Northway Porsche, find out what he's done because I know they've completed all the bits and pieces that I asked them to do, and also have a chat with Paul and find out what he's found out about the 964. So guys, I'm here with Paul.
Hey, how we doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, good.
I don't want to waste any time. Can we get into it? What is the issue?
Well, I gave you a call,
Yes.
because obviously we checked the car over for normal stuff. But whilst it's underneath it, I noticed one big thing, that it's got all 964, exhaust, everything else, but the
Right.
block itself and the engine's 993.
What?
1994, 993.
So hold on. This is not a 964 engine.
No, no.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay, I'm asking a Porsche mechanic, are you sure? So I thought you were going to tell me that the engine's gone, it's leaking oil,
Nope.
it's shot.
Nope.
You're actually telling me that this car's got a 993 block in there, or 993 engine?
It's a 993 engine, just the ancillary is a 964. So your exhaust, your inlet, that's all 964. But the block itself, heads, barrels, all the valve gear, 993.
How do you think that's happened?
Can't answer that one. I can tell you what you got, I can't tell you you got there.
So do you reckon somewhere along the line the engine's blown up
Somebody's done something along the lines.
and they've thought, right, let's throw a 993 engine in there?
Exactly that, exactly.
Right, so can you show me?
Right, the main giveaway,
Yes.
when you look up there, you got your cam cover.
Okay.
The cam cover on a 993 is made out of black plastic. 964, metal. You can't interchange the two. That will only fit on a 993 engine.
Right, got you. Is that an improvement on the 964? Is that the reason why?
Yeah, I mean, it's got hydraulic tappets in there. So it's less of a service cost. So you don't have to take the covers off and adjust the tappets.
Right.
Also, the other telltale sign is the engine number on the crankcase. It starts with a number 6, which means 6-cylinder. Then the 3 after it means rest of the world, 993.
Okay, so this is actually good news, not bad news.
It's good news, yeah.
Because I was going to increase the power anyway, so we'll talk about that in a few moments. So we've got a 993 engine,
Yeah.
964 exhaust.
Yep.
All the other ancillaries are 964.
Yeah, so your gearbox is 964, so it's a 5-speed rather than a 6. Yeah, everything else is 964.
Bit of a Frankenstein, isn't it?
A little bit. But you have
Okay.
got the ability then to get possibly more power out of it.
Well, that's music to my ears.
Yeah.
I'm quite excited actually. So it's a nice shock, I've got to say, because in my head I'm thinking, right, so this theoretically should have more power than the stock 964, although probably the car's hemorrhaging power because the exhaust is a 964 exhaust.
Exactly that. Maybe, because obviously you've got a different ECU, because you're obviously running on the standard 964 ECU, maybe somebody's remapped that as well. Don't know, can't tell. But yeah, it certainly feels strong in the mid-range.
Did you manage to do a compression test?
Yes, I did, yeah. Yeah.
Good, bad?
Compression test was okay. Cylinder leakage test come back with, should we say, one cylinder that was showing a little bit more than what I'd expect.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But probably not as bad as I thought actually.
No, considering it still pulls well.
Right?
Yeah.
What else have we done? Have you managed to fix that clutch issue?
Done the clutch. Right, did you want to have a look at your old clutch?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, you already had a light and flywheel in the car.
Hence why it's very snappy.
It was not the flywheel that was causing it to be snappy. It's the racing clutch.
On and off. That's
On and
it.
off. That is it. There's
That's
no give in
that's
between.
How it was.
Yeah, exactly that. So that's what was causing you problems on that side of things. For around town, especially if you were in town, it's the worst thing in the world. And there was your flywheel, so we replaced that, but basically because of the amount of heat that's generated, it's ridged, it's cracked.
Okay.
You're going to get clutch judder if we put that back in there again.
Right.
So you've had all new.
So we've gone with the RS clutch.
We've gone with the RS clutch and flywheel. So you're still going to get the engine to spool up quicker, same as what that one would have done. So you've lost that weight off the back of the engine.
Fantastic.
But you can drive it.
Knowing that it's got a 993 engine in there now, if we were to change the exhaust,
Yep.
remap it, change the ECU, theoretically, could we go from a stock 964, which is about 250 brake,
Yep.
to a 993, which is about 285 brake?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, the exhaust on a 964 is the biggest thing that should we say, strangles the car.
Right.
So as soon as you change that exhaust system, obviously we talked about the fact that you've got, you know, a little bit of cylinder leakage there as well. If you address that as well, and with a remap, yeah, you could easily push that figure, maybe more.
Okay, so guys, need your input on this. 993 engine in a 964, to get some power out of it without breaking the bank, should we go throttle bodies or should we do something else? I don't really want to supercharge it.
No.
Yeah, easy,
No.
even Paul said no. So guys, if you've modified a 993 engine without breaking the bank, drop a comment below or drop me a DM and give me some ideas, give me some input. And when the car is going to paint, the engine will be here, so it'll be out of the car. At least that way Paul can work on it and tidy it up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, just get rid of all those, the tinware that's tired.
Exactly that. It can all be, yeah, all the tinware can be done, the fan can be redone, housing, the whole lot's just it's a centerpiece. When you open it up, it just all looks nice inside as well.
So a car that's been problematic from the moment that I purchased it is actually no longer a problem. What a surprise. I can't wait to show you guys how it drives. But before we dive into that, there are some other things on the itinerary that need attention. Guys, I'm going to introduce another car to the channel, my 1995 registered Porsche 993 Turbo. Now, I've owned this car for 5 years, and I'm just going to put it out there, guys. This is probably the best car in my fleet. So just to give you a brief on this particular car, it's a 1995 registered 993 Turbo. Stock engine power is about 408 brake horsepower. It's a 3.6 litre twin turbo, so it differs from my 964 Turbo because that's a 3.3 litre single turbo. This thing is an absolute animal. Can you imagine when it came out in 1995? It destroyed everything that was out there. The Ferrari 355, a Honda NSX. I've done quite a few modifications, as you'd expect from me, but I'll cover that in a separate episode because I think this car deserves it. And look, don't she look beautiful? Now guys, it's always good to refresh the oil and just make sure the car's running sweet. I know it needs an AC regas. I don't think there's anything else that's an area of concern. So guys, I'm going to get in the car and head on over to Northway Porsche. It's absolutely freezing, so I'm going to be very quick. Drop the 993 Turbo off for service. That should be straightforward. Pick up the 997 GT3. Don't she look gorgeous? Again, another iconic car, another car that I absolutely love. That's been in for service. We're straightforward, no advisories on that. So it's going to go in and set the bill. One thing whilst I'm here, I did have a chat with Paul, who's had a chat with Ray, who's the owner of Northway Porsche. I need a set of 996 Turbo twists for my 996 Turbo. I'm not so keen on the sport techno wheels that are on the car. So I think for winter use, I'm going to use some turbo twists. So I understand there are some wheels here, 996 Turbo wheels here. I don't really care what condition they are. I'll get them refurbished. So hopefully I can find a set and maybe do a deal with Ray. So let me go inside, settle the bill, and have a look around, see if I can find some wheels. Now, I've got the owner of Northway here, and it's the first time he's coming on camera, but he's smiling at Conrad. Hello again.
Hello.
So this is actually the owner of Northway Porsche, and how long have you been here?
98, okay.
It's a long time. That's a long time, 25 years. So it's probably the first video he's ever been on in his life, but just be yourself, be yourself.
Yeah.
Talk about these potential 996 Turbo twists you have for sale or you don't have for sale. So Ray, what is that? Let's address the elephant in the room, as Harrison just said.
It's obviously Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
We didn't make it or buy it. I think it was made in the Far East, but yeah, we've had it for 10 or 12 years. And yeah, now everyone loves it and we can't.
And what's that made out of?
It's made of everything, and I think everything from clutch plates to brake pads to
engine parts and so on.
Engine parts, yeah, gearbox parts.
It must weigh an absolute
It came apart, we got it up there, it's in about 7 bits, but it's, yeah, the legs are the heaviest bit, and the detail is amazing.
Now let's talk 996 Turbo twists. Now I found out recently there are actually 2 types of turbo twists, is that correct?
Yeah, there are, yeah. They look identical, but they're not. So some are hollow, the hollow spokes, similar to the 993. So this is an 18-inch wheel on a 4S. If it wasn't spec'd hollow, then you can put your fingers behind, you can feel it's, right. And then when you feel a hollow spoke, they're very smooth on the back. And the same thing when the 996 Turbo came out, same thing. So very similar design.
Why would I need hollow turbo twist?
Official 18-inch technology hollow spoke wheel is what should be fitted to a
Is that because they're lighter?
Turbo.
Is that
they're
because
lighter,
they're lighter?
Okay. Yeah. And obviously the 996 C4S, identical looking body and wheels, but not hollow spokes.
Not hollow spokes. Okay. Do you have a set here that you could sell me?
I generally don't sell wheels simply because I just seem to collect them. I mean, that's not
You're
even...
a hoarder. You're a hoarder. I can see that.
We're
Yeah,
a hoarder, yeah.
I can
and
see
there's
that.
wheels behind there. There's wheels that there was wheels everywhere. These are not worth. Yeah, they're not.
Right, guys, so these are not hollow turbo twists. If you look inside the wheel, you can see there's a groove section which is cut out. That's a non-hollow wheel. So the hunt is still on. Ray and Paul will try and see if there's a set of proper 996 turbo twists that are hollow, that are here, and that they're prepared to sell to me. So hopefully we can get a deal done next week when I come to pick up the 993 after the service. So guys, I am back in the 964. Got it back from Northway Porsche a few days ago, parked it up, just so super busy at the moment. Weather today is pretty good. It's a bit cold outside, which is probably perfect for driving conditions, and it's not damp. Now let's give a brief overview of what Paul at Northway Porsche has done to the car. First and foremost, the clutch has been replaced. It's actually an RS clutch now, and we also have a lightweight single mass flywheel, which has really sharpened up the car. So now it's very sprightly, very, very, very responsive, which is, to be fair, what I wanted, because the plan for this car is to be a fast road, B-road blaster type vehicle. So that new clutch has definitely helped. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, or shall we say the elephant in the car, the engine. This car does not have a 964 engine. That has come as a shock and a surprise, but believe you and me guys, I am super excited to now know this car has a 993 engine. 272 brake horsepower is a massive improvement over the stock engine that the 964 should have had, which is about 250 brake horsepower. However, this engine is being starved because the ancillaries and the exhaust are from the stock 964. So it's probably pushing out around 250, 255 brake. However, the biggest difference I've noticed, and I did notice this before I took the car to Paul, but it didn't register that the engine could be something different. The biggest noticeable difference with this engine is the mid-range torque, especially in second and third gear. The car just wants to pull and just keeps on going, which is totally different to my grey 964, which is a stock 964 engine. Now, some of you may think, well, your car is not a 964. It's got a 964 body, but with a 993 engine and a 964 gearbox. It's a bit of a Frankenstein, and yes, I do agree. However, the plan with this car right from the beginning was to upgrade the performance, get a little bit more power without breaking the bank, change the color of the car, we'll talk about that in a moment, and many other upgrades, including interior, wheels, and suspension. So this car is going to be a Frankenstein anyway. You could call it a resto mod, to be fair now, because that's what it's going to be by the time I've finished with it. I still want to get more power, so I think the way to go would be ITBs, individual throttle bodies, and try and get the car somewhere around 310, 320 brake horsepower. Now, if any of you have done any of those mods on your 993, bear in mind, it's not a 964 engine, on your 993, let me know. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you've done. Let me know what you suggest, or DM me on Instagram, RajSango911, and just give me some ideas of what you recommend I can do without spending silly amounts of money. Right guys, I am back at CAS HQ. The car is now parked up in our garage. What a fantastic drive back that was from Northway Porsche. Now, next up for this car, there's quite a few stages. First and foremost, I need to fit a stereo. There's no head unit in the car at all. In fact, there's no speakers, there's no security, there's no alarm, there's no tracker. And if I want to use the car, I'm going to need some form of audio and security. So we'll get that done as soon as possible. We'll cover that on an episode on the channel. I've already ordered KW Variant 3 suspension, and I've got the Fuchs wheels, which I showed you previously. So they'll go on the car at some point as well. Again, probably another episode. And in the new year, I'll be taking the car to the painter and we'll discuss paint options. You can have a good look around the car. There are a few blemishes across the car, front to back. And because I am looking to change the color of the car, it's probably going to be bare metal. So we'll have a discussion about the car, talk about color options, and talk about costs as well. Now, the next episode will be featuring my Ford Escort RS Cosworth. It's going to be about wheels, tires, and suspension. So guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, because this channel is about the cars in my collection, my journey with these cars. I don't know, some of you here for the Porsche, some of you are here for the E30 M3 barn find, maybe some of you here for the Escort RS Cosworth. There's quite a few cars in the fleet, including over here, I've got my E30 M3 Coupe, and all these cars will be featured on this channel at some point, be it in just a driving episode or if I'm doing some servicing work or modifications. Hopefully, I'll see you again on another episode on Raj's Garage. Until the next one.